This is CBC Winnipeg News.
Good evening. Thanks for joining us. The highest paid employee at Manitoba Hydro last year was someone who only worked for the organization for a month and a half. The former CEO brought in close to $900,000 in that time. But one business instructor says the massive payout shouldn't come as a surprise. The CBC's Ian Fraze explains.
Jay Graywall made a lot of money in her last year leading Manitoba Hydro, yet only worked for a month and a half before being dismissed. A business instructor says that's likely to spark some public outrage, but says it's the price Hydro has to pay for CEOs.
The public really needs to understand that to attract and retain quality people, to ensure our institutions and our major organizations funded by the taxpayer are well managed, you're going to have to pay a lot for it.
In 2024, Graywall earned just over $880,000, according to new compensation disclosures. That's well above the more than $500,000 she earned for the entirety of 2023. Sean McDonald with the University of Manitoba thinks Graywall's contract was bought out.
I know that the numbers look large, but when we really drill down and compare it to the market for running a major energy company, it should not be shocking at all.
Graywall lost her job in February 2024, just 2 weeks after the new NDP government criticized her plans to buy wind from private sources. The government is now going ahead, but planning to buy wind from Indigenous partners instead. Hydro says Graywall was paid based on the terms of her contract, nothing more, nothing less. Ian Fraze, CBC News, Winnipeg.
A member of a popular Manitoba band and his girlfriend have died in a car crash on Canada Day. Royal Canoe says their friend and bass player Brendan Berg and his 31-year-old girlfriend were both killed in the crash. RCMP responded to the head-on collision on Highway 10 around 3:30 in the afternoon. Mounties say the two were hit when a southbound car veered over the center line, crashing into their parked car on the east edge of the road. The band says they're in shock and still trying to process the tragedy, calling Berg the kindest, sweetest man you could ever know. Today would have been his 43rd birthday. RCMP are searching for a suspect after a person was stabbed to death in Selkirk. Police say it happened outside a business on Manitoba Avenue just before midnight Monday. A 39-year-old woman was found with critical injuries and didn't survive. RCMP say the incident started with a fight.
This is not a random incident. Like I say, there was a confrontation between our victim and at least one person, which led to the stabbing. And unfortunately, like I say, she died from those injuries.
Now, RCMP say they want to speak with a woman who was spotted in the area. Beaded jackets, fur stretchers, and silk. They're part of a trove of artifacts dating back 2 centuries. And the Manitoba Métis Federation says it's reclaiming its history. More than 100 artifacts will soon have a permanent home in a Métis Heritage Centre on Portage in Maine. CBC's Felicia Adam got a sneak peek.
3, 2, 1.
It's just a glimpse of beadwork, clothing, and shawls. These pieces will help in telling the stories and the history of Métis people.
So you see the artistic work of our people then?
They're part of the Our Grandmothers collection, made up of 142 pieces dating back to the early 1800s.
They're the stories of our grandmothers. These are the stories of women who were producing these pieces for family, who were producing these pieces for sale, who were producing these pieces, really as artists themselves.
Gregory Schofield has been curating the collection for the past 2 decades. Most of the pieces originate from Western Canada, including right here in Manitoba.
Each of the pockets here that she's created is like a different bouquet of flowers. It's the story that she was telling about possibly the flowers from where she was living.
The pieces will join a collection of 1,000 artifacts that will be part of the Red River Métis National Heritage Centre.
I just hope that people will see just the beauty of a people, the development of a people, but also the building of Western Canada into the country of Canada.
It's hoped the Heritage Centre will open in Winnipeg's historic Bank of Montreal building as early as 2027. David Chartrand is the head of the Federation. He says this is just one of the ways they're trying to help revitalize downtown Winnipeg.
Hustle and bustle downtown, that's gone. And now we got to figure out how do we draw that back.
Chartrand hopes the centre will attract thousands of people, helping downtown get back to what it once was, while also making sure the stories of Métis people aren't forgotten. Felicia Adam, CBC News, Winnipeg.
A Winnipeg bus stop scrapped by the city's new transit system could soon be back. The stop on St. Anne's Road near the Riverside Lions Seniors residence was taken out of commission on Sunday. Many at the seniors complex were concerned about elderly riders being forced to walk further to catch a bus. One resident says he plans to start taking the bus more often and is glad to hear the stop could soon be back.
We've been waiting for a lot of things around this city for a long time. Like, look at this condition of the streets. Anything helps. So if it's coming, it's good. If it's not, obviously it's not good.
A transit spokesperson says it's considering reinstating the bus stop this fall, along with one on the other side of the street. A pair of stops nearby on St. Anne's at Hindley would then be removed. Community journalists are telling the Manitoba government to stop spending so much money on social media ads and start buying local. The province is holding consultations today in Winnipeg about its role in supporting local media. Emmy Joaquin is the editor of the Filipino Express news magazine. She told the government one way to help is to redirect its ad dollars from American tech giants like Facebook to local news organizations like hers.
You know, the government has an advertising budget. So a little bit of that will really help the local media, you know, not only us, but other ethnic TV, radio, and especially those who don't have that much funding.
She says her paper relies entirely on volunteer writers and advertising revenue from local businesses. Dozens of people became Canadian citizens yesterday at 3 different ceremonies here in Manitoba. It was a day to celebrate and look back on the journey to become Canadian. CBC's Gavin Axelrod takes us to some of those ceremonies.
Taking the oath of citizenship, becoming citizens on Canada Day.
You are now Canadian citizens.
A day almost a decade in the making for Kelly Nguyen.
First thing came through my mind was, wow, so I'm here today. It's really happening. And the second thing crossed my mind is my late mom. She's always been supporting for me to have a better life. Every moment when life hit me, I always think of my mom, and I always think of why did I choose to come here in the first place?
41 people from 14 different countries became citizens at this ceremony, a time to reflect on the journey and set goals for the future.
I can finally achieve my dreams. I can aspire to be whoever I want to be. I'm not there yet, but I'm certainly on the right track.
Congratulations.
Dozens more people also became citizens during a ceremony at Assiniboine Park.
I have been longing for it, and now the time has come for me to get it. I'm very happy.
Back at the stadium, a few words of encouragement for those still waiting to take the oath.
Think about why you book your one-way ticket, go into that airplane, and come here.
On a day they'll never forget. Gavin Axelrod, CBC News, Winnipeg.
Weather specialist Riley Lachuk in now. Riley, those colors are back behind you, and it has been a scorching day.
Yeah, and we are looking at temperatures, Brittany, even hotter as we get into the next couple of days across southern Manitoba and even into parts of the north. So a heat warning in place for the city of Winnipeg, the Interlake into northwestern Ontario, stretching back into Brandon and right along the international border. We also have an air quality statement in place still for Flin Flon, the Pas into Lynn Lake. You can see some of that haze on visible satellite as it sunk a little bit further south, helped by a bit more of a northerly flow. We'll start to get that wind shifting around to more of a southerly flow as we get into the next couple of days here, and that will help clear our skies here in southern Manitoba, but pose more issues into parts of the north as we get toward the weekend. Temperatures this afternoon, 28 in Winnipeg, officially got to 29 at the Forks, 28 in Brandon, Thompson, 23 degrees, very seasonal even into parts of northern Manitoba. So we're looking at a mostly clear sky overnight tonight, 14 degrees, mostly sunny into the day tomorrow, and then we're looking at a hot and humid one, Brittany, 32 degrees. It gets warmer from this in your long range.
Sunglasses, sunscreen, and
Yes.
lots of water. Thanks, Riley.
You're welcome.
A higher cost to getting high. Why the province says the price of pot is on the rise. More on that after the break. The price of pot is on the rise. Manitoba has increased the markup. That's the extra cost the province's cannabis distributors slap on the products it sells to retailers. And while store owners may be lamenting that move, the province is offering them a consolation. A promise something they've long wanted is on the way. The CBC's Ian Fraze explains.
They'll all likely increase a little bit.
Just about everything in this cannabis store is going up in price, thanks to Manitoba Liquor and Lotteries.
This is just an additional measure that is going to burden us even further.
All retailers buy cannabis products from Liquor and Lotteries, which charges a markup. That figure was 9%. As of June, it increased to 11%. Government Minister Glenn Simard says the higher markup reflects that the industry is maturing, but he did not explain why it's necessary.
I think to the customer, they won't notice a big difference.
But Melanie Bakavich with Mystique Cannabis says higher prices are a strike against an industry still battling the illicit market.
We want to be able to compete meaningfully on pricing.
There's also an excise tax of $1 on every gram of cannabis. That rate hasn't changed, even as the number of new stores has soared, driving down prices.
Blissful Bloom on St. Anne's, how can I help you?
One of those new stores belongs to 23-year-old Brendan Swarchuk. He notices the higher markup when he's buying product for Blissful Bloom.
I'm not making small quantity purchase orders. They're thousands of dollars most times.
He says another part of the provincial bulletin announcing the new markup caught his eye. The promise Manitoba may stop forcing cannabis stores to cover their windows.
Sunlight. Like, nobody likes a store that doesn't allow sunlight in.
Some other provinces have stopped blocking windows because of crime.
You can have many incidents that put people at risk, and it's not visible to the exterior.
Simard says the government is still mulling the window question. Ian Fraze, CBC News, Winnipeg.
Representatives from Canada's auto industry and the big three automakers were in Ottawa to meet with Prime Minister Mark Carney.
We'll be discussing EV mandates, of course, as well as a range of other policies to make sure the sector succeeds.
Do you think that's sustainable, though?
Well, the EV mandate itself is not sustainable. The targets that have been established cannot be met, and that will be part of the discussion.
The talks come as the Liberal government prepares to resume trade negotiations with the Trump administration. The auto sector is dealing with a 25% on U.S. imports. The Carney government is hoping to land a new trade deal with Donald Trump by July 21st. The Prime Minister's office says it's focused on securing the best deal for Canadian workers and industries. If no agreement is reached, Canada is planning countermeasures. Sean Diddy Combs has been denied bail by a U.S. judge ahead of his sentencing. The music mogul was found guilty of prostitution-related charges, but was acquitted of sex trafficking and racketeering offenses. CBC's Jennifer Yoon has the latest from the courthouse in New York.
After 7 weeks, 34 witnesses, and long, grueling days of testimony and jury deliberation, the jury has come to a verdict on the criminal case against Sean Diddy Combs. The music mogul was found not guilty of racketeering, not guilty of sex trafficking, of 2 counts against Cassandra Ventura, a former longtime girlfriend and a woman who only testified publicly under the name Jane. He was, however, found guilty of transporting these 2 women with the intent of prostitution, a charge that carries a maximum sentence of 20 years. But ultimately, he avoided life in prison, and you could see that he was happy in the courtroom. He nodded at the jury, mouthed thank you, even doing a prayer hands at them, and you could see the emotion from him, from his family, as he heard the verdict. Now, outside the courtroom too, his supporters, Diddy's supporters, were elated. They were celebrating, they were chanting, but there were also people who are concerned about what this verdict will mean for those who have experienced gender-based violence.
I believe that this verdict is going to make the rest of the cases that come down the line a little more difficult to prove. It's very hard to get up on that stand for victims. Cassie got up on that stand. Jane got up on that stand. The jury didn't believe them. They believed that there was consent.
Cassandra Ventura's lawyer, in the civil suit that she filed against Diddy alleging violence, also commented on the case.
But we're pleased that he's been held responsible for something, which is something that hasn't happened in his lifetime. And, we're hopeful that ultimately he receives a substantial sentence for what he's done. And, we're pleased that Cassie's brought to light everything that has happened in this trial. I just spoke with her and with the U.S. Attorney's Office team. And she's in a good place. She's pleased that, again, that the jury has found him liable, guilty of 2 federal crimes.
There are still dozens of civil cases filed against Combs. What this verdict will mean for those cases is still yet to be seen. Jennifer Yoon, CBC News, New York City.
Riley's back in now. Happy to be back beside you after a couple days away. It was a hot one yesterday, followed by a stormy night, and kind of perfect to open the window to sleep with, though.
Oh, yeah. Nice window open sleeping weather. Tonight shouldn't be bad either, but we are looking at some humidity building in as we get into the next couple of days, and that will fuel that thunderstorm risk even further. I want to show you a picture. This was taken in Southport last night. Thank you, Clark, for sending this picture in of that storm that rolled through Portage La Prairie. Did see some hail out of some of that thunderstorm activity as it pushed southeastward into the Red River Valley as well. So thanks for sending this picture. And I have another one that was taken over the weekend from Warren at Cormorant Lake. Nice sunrise into that part of the province as we've gotten some sunshine and some warmer temperatures. Thanks to high pressure, kept us nice and clear. That does change, though, as we get into the next couple of days. So as this high departs, in behind that, a weak area of low pressure pushes into northern Manitoba. And along this surface trough, potential for maybe a little bit of extra cloud as we get into the day on Thursday. But once we get some daytime heating and some humidity in place, this does fuel the risk of some thunderstorm activity as we get through the later afternoon into the overnight hours into Friday morning. So keep that in mind that we could get some rumbles of thunder as we get through the evening hours Thursday into Friday. Behind that, a pair of low pressure systems and a cold front pushes through on Friday. And what this does is give us a fairly good chance of seeing some rain showers into Friday morning, but also the risk as we get later in the day, once again, with some daytime heating, of seeing some thunderstorms bubbling up, particularly into the southeastern part of the province. So a bit of a trade-off the next couple of days, some heat and humidity, but also fueling that risk of thunderstorm activity. Now, this map here shows us that greatest likelihood where we could see some of that storm activity bubbling up. This is into the evening hours on Thursday, really anywhere south of the Pas through Swan River into the Parkland. This isn't any indication of where you'll see thunderstorm activity. It just simply shows us the areas where we have the ingredients in place, the heat, the humidity, some of the science that goes up in the atmosphere above us, pointing out the risk there that we could see some high winds, some hail, some heavy downpours as we get into Thursday. That risk does shift as we get Friday into the afternoon hours, into southeastern Manitoba, into northwestern Ontario. I do have that risk into the afternoon hours for Winnipeg as well as we get into the day on Friday. For Thursday, though, 31s and 32s across southern Manitoba. Tack 5, 6 onto this to factor in the humidity, so feeling closer to 38 into Friday. Brittany, 33 degrees, feeling closer to 42 as we get into the day on Friday.
Welcome summer.
Yeah.
Okay, thanks, Riley. Well, it's one of our country's highest honors. After the break, more on a Winnipegger who took home the Order of Canada and your last look at weather. Stay with us. Nearly 7 dozen Canadians have been named to the Order of Canada, including a longtime sports broadcaster from Winnipeg. Scott Oak was among those to receive the Order of Canada this year. Oak co-founded the Bruce Oak Recovery Centre, an addiction treatment facility built in honor of his son, who passed away of a heroin overdose at age 25. He says the centre is making a difference, and this award is for all who helped make it a success.
Bruce Oak so far has graduated about 450 guys. There are 140 odd jet sweaters that hang in our gymnasium, each of those standing for 1 year of sobriety. A year of recovery is a milestone. So, Bruce Oak is making a difference.
And Vancouver-born actor Ryan Reynolds was also awarded during the Canada Day celebrations in Ottawa.
All right, we will stay on theme for the dog walking forecast. Some Canada pictures for our dog walking forecast. I don't know what happened to my... I'm having some problems here. I froze my weather computer up. But you know what? We're looking at temperatures, 31s and 32s as we get through the next couple of days across southern Manitoba, even into 33 degrees. Yeah, I think it's actually kind of frozen on me there, which is a little unfortunate. But, we are looking at temperatures closer to 33 as we head into Friday. Bit of a reprieve into the weekend as that cold front pushes through, more like 24 for Sunday. Then we're back into 28s and 29s for the weekend. I don't know.
Maybe we can get it tomorrow.
Yeah, we'll get that.
We'll just
tomorrow.
extend Canada Day all week long.
Well, we are looking, as I mentioned, at a couple of hot and humid days ahead that might have some, maybe you, maybe me, reaching for a popsicle or seeking a swimming pool out.
Yeah, you don't need to be a polar bear to enjoy jumping into a pool on a hot summer day. Here's your daily lift. Okay, this zoo in southwestern Germany finding ways to help its animals in this weather. They're having a persistent heat wave, nice cold showers, frozen treats, a little extra icing on the cake.
Contrary to common belief, polar bears can handle heat like most other animals, provided they have a chance to cool down later. The country is seeing its hottest day so far this year as temperatures hit 37 degrees Celsius. And I am living for the animals that are getting sprayed with water. That's what I want someone to do to me.
We've got to find a sprinkler.
I know, exactly.
We'll be searching for those sprinklers tomorrow and for the rest of the week.
Yes.
Have a wonderful night. We'll see you back here tomorrow.
See ya.